All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're looking at a major standoff between two global giants, India and the United States. Now, these two are supposed to be close strategic partners, but right now they are locked in a serious dispute. So what happens when two friends start acting more like rivals? On paper, the US and India are absolutely key allies, especially when you look at the Indo-Pacific. But behind the handshakes and the photo ops, a really serious disagreement has blown up, and it's putting that entire friendship to the test. And believe me, this isn't just some angry words being exchanged. According to reports coming out of Indian media, this has led to some major real-world consequences. New Delhi has apparently hit the pause button on several huge defense deals with the US, leaving billions of dollars worth of military gear totally stuck in diplomatic limbo. And just look at what's been put on hold. We are not talking about small-time equipment here. We're talking about top-tier, really strategic assets. You've got 6 P-8 Poseidon surveillance planes, which are crucial for watching the seas. You've got versatile Stryker Armoured Fighting Vehicles, and, of course, the legendary Javelin anti-tank missiles. Pulling these from the table, well, that's not just a delay. That is a very loud statement. A relationship worth billions of dollars in military trade doesn't just get put on ice for no reason. So you have to ask, what was the trigger? What on earth could make India take such a huge step against one of its most important security partners? Well, the answer, according to the source material, isn't something you'd find on a battlefield. It's all about the economy. The whole root of this problem seems to be some pretty intense tariff pressure coming from the US administration, what you could call an American squeeze on Indian trade. And here it is, the move that seems to have lit the fuse. The US government slapped an additional 25% tariff on a whole range of Indian goods. This wasn't some minor tweak in policy. This was a massive economic shot across the bow, aimed squarely at New Delhi. And with that extra 25%, the total tariff on a lot of Indian products jumped to a staggering 50%. To put that into perspective, sources note this is one of the highest tariffs the US has put on any country. This move was clearly designed to apply maximum pressure.
So why do it? Well, the US was pretty clear about its reasoning. Washington said these tariffs were a direct consequence of India's ongoing economic relationship with Russia, specifically its big purchases of Russian oil and its deals for Russian weapons.
And the action came with some really strong language, what sources described as bellicose rhetoric. The US essentially accused India of giving direct support to the, and I'm quoting here, Russian war machine. I mean, wow. That is incredibly harsh language to use with a country you call a strategic partner. But facing that kind of economic pressure and that kind of talk, India did not blink. New Delhi's response was swift, it was forceful, and it was a direct clapback to Washington's accusations. And here's the official language from India's Ministry of External Affairs. They didn't pull any punches. They flat out called the US tariffs unjustified and unreasonable. That's a direct public condemnation, and it signals that they are not about to back down. So this is where we are. You've got two totally clashing viewpoints. The US is saying India's trade with Russia is helping fuel a war. But India is firing right back, calling the US actions unfair and really pointing out what it sees as hypocrisy, noting that plenty of Western countries continue their own trade with Russia. And this wasn't just some quick, angry press release. To show just how seriously they were taking this, India's Ministry of External Affairs put out a detailed 6-point rebuttal. They systematically took apart the American arguments. It was a very deliberate and very firm response. So what does this all mean for the partnership? I mean, when two powerful countries get into this kind of public tit-for-tat, you have to ask some serious questions about where things are headed. Is this entire strategic relationship now at risk? Because at the end of the day, this is so much more than just a fight over tariffs and trade numbers. It's a fundamental test of a relationship that both sides have said is critical for the world. It really puts everything, strategic goals, trust, and competing national interests right under the microscope.
So let's just recap where things stand. The US deployed heavy economic pressure on India because of its trade with Russia. India fired back by freezing major military deals with the U.S. And right now, neither side is budging, which has created this high-stakes diplomatic standoff with no obvious way out.
And all of this leaves us with a huge question for our time. In this world of constantly shifting alliances, can a cornerstone partnership like the one between America and India actually survive this kind of intense pressure? That really is the multi-billion-dollar question, and for now, it's one without an answer. Thanks for joining us for this explain.